Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. The Oklahoma Sooners add to their 2024 class, landing three-star safety Mykel Patterson-McDonald. And I kind of want to start the conversation off in a very similar way we did with KJ Daniels a couple months ago when he committed to Oklahoma. Seemingly a guy that is just flying under the radar, according to a lot of the recruiting services that the fans like you and I watch, right? 24/7 sports, on three, all have him as a three-star. If I were to guess, Brent Venables and this defensive staff have this kid a lot higher rated than you see the national recruiting services. And I'll get into the reason why. The 24/7 sports on three, and I by no means want to drag what they do. They do a phenomenal job stacking these kids coming out of high school, but they put a lot of stock into the projectable traits, right? The verified height, the verified weight, the verified track numbers, how fast you are at the camps. And sometimes I feel like the film, the actual football player, gets a little bit lost in the equation. And in this case, I think we're looking at a perfect example. When you turn on the film with the guy, Mykel Patterson-McDonald, you look at a safety that has extremely good instincts. Whenever he always seems to be in the right place at the right time. And when it comes to coming downhill and tackling in space, he certainly can do that too. So a guy that Oklahoma fans, I bet are thrilled about it. You'll see some people, maybe some Texas fans or whoever has their say on Twitter say, oh, another three-star for Oklahoma. If I were to guess, I think Brent Venables and the staff are a lot more excited than a lot of the other fans are about landing a guy, Mykel Patterson-McDonald. Now, before we get into the film, just want to say thank you to you guys. It's been a blast breaking down all these commitments in the 2024 class. Just took a deep dive into Jackson Arnold, so you guys can go check that out if you want. But the Sooner fans, you guys have shown a ton of love and support. So if you do enjoy the content, you enjoy the updates, consider subscribing to the channel. Going to be trying to break down all these commitments in the month of August. And for Oklahoma fans, we're hoping it's a big month. Guys like David Stone, William Zemuneri, maybe set to commit this month. So appreciate you guys rocking with the boys. And let's get into Mykel Patterson-McDonald. And I kind of just want to turn on the tape and just show a little bit of what I mean in the terms of turn on the tape and watch this guy go to work. You look at the junior year numbers, 100 tackles, 3 interceptions, 12 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles. You're talking about a guy that just understands that safety position at a very high level. Now, firing up the film here, this first rep kind of talks about exactly what I'm getting at, right? You see him read the quarterback's eyes. Notice the tight end is kind of leaking up to see him unguarded and just makes a play on the football. I mean, the instincts are extremely good. And that's kind of something that maybe 24/7 sports and on three, since it's not really a quantifiable statistic, guy like Mykel Patterson-McDonald gets a little bit lost in those rankings. Again, really good instincts, breaking on the football. I like this kid's game a lot. You carry this across the field and then you go break up a pass. Flies around the football field, always seems to be in the right spot. And then when it comes to getting downhill and making a tackle against the run, he certainly can do that. I'll say this right now. I was thinking this dude's Reggie Pearson, right? As a Michigan fan, I've been familiar with Reggie Pearson going back to his time at Wisconsin in terms of coming up, making plays. This is another example of kind of what I'm getting at with the instincts, though, right? You take a look at this play, he's already running to the point of attack before that ball's even snapped. I mean, this guy just gets that position. He's a playmaker, gets his hands on a lot of footballs. And for Oklahoma, I think you got a really quality player. And there's a lot to be excited, even though he's just a three-star according to 24/7 Sports. This is a dude that's going to come in and contribute, whether it's special teams. And this is the Reggie Pearson aspect of it. You're going to see a couple plays here where you throw that ball over the middle of the field, you hang a pass catcher out to dry. A guy like Mykel Patterson-McDonald is certainly going to make you pay. He's a guy that flies all over the field, wants to be physical against the run. Again, don't throw over the middle of the field with this guy on the field. Now, Oklahoma fans, we've talked a lot about this. We even talked a little bit about it with Jackson Darnold, right? Or Jackson Arnold, excuse me. Top 15 class in the country, loaded up on the offensive side of the ball. You have the number 1 running back in the class, Taylor Tatum. You have a matchup nightmare in Devon Mitchell. Zion Kearney, one of the top wide receivers in the class. And even going down the list, Ivan Carrion, Zion Raggins, a guy like KJ Daniels, who, again, I think a perfect example of a dude that is getting slept on because he doesn't pop off the paper in terms of the height weight. KJ Daniels can play. You watch the tape from Louisiana. This dude flies. He makes explosive plays. What Oklahoma fans, I think, are waiting on a little bit is where's this defensive class going to kind of come together? I think you feel really good about the secondary. You add a guy like Mykel Patterson-McDonald. You have a guy like Jaden Hardy in the class, Jeremiah Newcomb in the class. The secondary you're feeling pretty good about. I think what we're waiting on and what Brent Venables has kind of preached, he showed us in the transfer portal that he's very interested in improving that defensive line is, are those big dogs going to come and when are they going to come? Right? A guy like David Stone, a guy like Williams Emaneri. Those are the kind of premier crown jewels of this class that if you just land one of them, maybe even if you land two of them, you're going to be talking about an Oklahoma class that's going to be a top 10 group when it comes to December. And I said this, I'll say it every time we talk Oklahoma in the 2024 recruiting class, is this is a class that's coming together slowly. That being said, when we're talking about end of December and all the noise about Oklahoma moving to the SEC happens, if Oklahoma can have success on the field where they didn't really have much success last year, right? They're still recruiting well after going 6-7. Imagine if Oklahoma goes out and wins 10 games, which we both think certainly is capable. They're capable of doing. Imagine what the recruiting class looks like then. That's when it gets really exciting for Oklahoma fans. But a guy in Mykel Patterson-McDonald, don't be fooled by the 3-star ranking. I promise you, Brent Venables and this defensive staff made him a priority because they know he can play football. So this is a massive, massive get for the Sooner fans. I want to leave it at that. Appreciate you guys for rocking with the boys like you do. And if you do enjoy the updates, you enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later.